Hi, I'm Álvaro Henrique. I'm making one more video with tips of Brazilian guitar composers that you should check out and their masterpieces. Today I'll start with Camargo Guarnieri. One more time, in order for you to not make the spelling wrong, I will write on the description the composers and the pieces names perfectly, so you don't speak Portuguese can check how to spell them perfectly, and then you can find more videos, more performances, people playing them on Spotify, how you should also buy their scores. So let's go on. I'll talk about Camargo Guarnieri first. In Brazil, we have some founding myth that Brazil was founded by the blend of three different races: the natives, Indians, the Africans, and the Europeans. In music, Villa-Lobos was often described as the native. Indeed, he did use Indian melodies and musical characteristics of native music in his works. He also composed works in native idioms. And the composer who would represent the European was Mozart Camargo Guarnieri. He's a very accomplished composer, but his works for guitar are very few. Two of them, I would say, are the most important ones: Ponteio and Valsa. Ponteio is a piece that's kind of a prelude, and the Valsa is a waltz. Those are very two interesting pieces that you should check out. I'll talk about other composer. The one that represented the African is Francisco Mignone. Francisco Mignone did use a lot of African elements in his music. He had no African background. He is from an Italian family, in fact, but he did incorporate a lot of African culture in his music, and he also wrote pieces in idioms, in languages that the African slaves used in Brazil. So Francisco Mignone has quite a large work for guitar, but several of his works demand some adaptation, some they need to be adapted better for the guitar, and they are being rediscovered recently, especially because some guitarists did make that effort to adapt them to be more idiomatic, to be more playable. His two main works for guitar are the 12 waltzes. They are 12 waltzes in minor keys. He uses all the minor keys: D, D flat, D sharp, E, F, and so on. So all the 12 keys, minor keys, and he also has the 12 studies. I recommend you to listen and also to play the 12 studies. The waltz, because it's a more restricted point of start, they sound very similar. It's not a very pleasant experience to listen to the 12 waltz all along. But the 12 studies, they have a lot of contrast, and if you listen to them, for sure you're going to find at least two that you will want to play. I have played one of them for some time. So Francisco Mignone, another name you should check out, especially the 12 studies. There are some recordings available, I believe even on Spotify, on YouTube for sure, you're going to hear them. I'll also talk about a favorite of mine, César Guerra-Peixe. Guerra-Peixe is a composer who has a very unique idiom, and he used some effects, some writings that you can also hear in Leo Brouwer's music. But Guerra-Peixe wrote them some years before, 5 years, 10 years before. I'm not accusing Leo Brauer of plagio or copying Guerra Peixe. No way, I'm not. I don't want to say that. Don't misunderstand me. But Guerra Peixe was looking for some solutions that Leo Brauer also found them. It's like, I believe we have pyramids here in the Americas and pyramids in the Egypt, because if you want to build something tall with stones without cement, the only possibility are pyramids. So Leo Brauer and Guerra Peixe were looking for the same stuff. Guerra Peixe did found some answers before, but that's why you should check his works. His most played work is one of his 5 preludes, the last one. It's also a very important piece for an important Brazilian musical movement called Movimento Armorial. So you should definitely check his 5 preludes. There on the 5 preludes, you already will notice a lot of guitar writing innovations that we see later in Leo Brauer's music. But his main work is his sonata for guitar. I'll put on the description a link of mine playing his complete sonata. It's his first, but also his most important work for the guitar. It seems that he wrote this masterpiece, it stayed a long time without being played, and then he was writing easier pieces to make guitarists learn his way of writing for the guitar. He played the violin, in fact, not the guitar. And I'll end this video with Radames Gnatalli. Radames was a concert pianist, but who had to work for the radio, for the TV, making arrangements, writing popular music in order to make a living. So his work blends a lot of classical music, especially classical form, and Brazilian popular themes, rhythms, and also some other nationalistic characteristic elements. He has a very large work for the guitar. He has several concertos for guitar and orchestra, concertos with 2 guitars and orchestra, concertos with some ensembles that has also a guitar or electric fired guitar that can be even an electric guitar, can be also a classical guitar with microphone. And so he has a lot. He has also chamber music. He wrote for the Assad brothers. But his solo guitar works, he has 2 important pieces. He has 10 studies, very interesting pieces. You can choose at least 2 or 3 of those 10 studies that you feel like playing. You should play them. But I believe his most important work are 3 pieces that are not thought to be one set of pieces, but they were published together as the 3 concert studies. Those 3 pieces are the Toccata em ritmo de samba 1, Toccata em ritmo de samba 2, and the Dança Brasileira. Those are the 3 pieces that we guitarists most love to play by Radames Gnatalli. They do sound amazing, with great rhythm, great melodies, very not so easy, but it's very playable, and it definitely sounds harder than you really have to practice.